Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to our November 20th pre-meeting. First on the agenda is interview for the scholarship selection committee. When Buddy? Yes.
What color?
You can sit here.
Oh, okay.
That's something I'd see right down there. We reserve.
I get my own computer.
Okay. Okay, welcome to council. So you're here interviewing for the scholarship selection committee. Pronounce your last name?
Pilates.
Pilates.
There's a name missing.
Okay.
It was not my fault.
Okay, I'm not sure if we know everyone here. Okay, we'll go around. So I'm Ida Powell. I'm council, Ward 1, and president.
Tom Schwartzmeyer.
Young League Council.
Yeah, the junior conservation.
And it's okay, Mayor.
Laura Checa.
Ryan Malcolm Council.
Max Younger, solicitor. And Free Jenner is your manager behind you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in this project?
Oh, all sorts of stuff all my life. I've been in education all my life. I was born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio, and as soon as I graduated from high school, I left there and went to St. Mary's at Notre Dame in South Bend, got my bachelor's degree. Got right into a elementary school position in Maryland in a Catholic school. I taught for 3 years, then I went to high school and I taught there a couple of years English, and then I became a school administrator right away. So as a school administrator there, I was there for 20 years. I was in charge of all the scholarships and actually all the paperwork for all the foreign students who came. And then my journey left Maryland and I became a school superintendent in the Dayton area. And from Dayton, I came here to Pittsburgh, but no matter where I was, I always dealt with scholarships. I was a point person for scholarships. And I do it here. I'm a member of the Cranberry Rotary Club, past president there, and we do scholarship committees there. And AAUW is American University of Women, and I was head of scholarship there. So kind of used to doing scholarships and just like doing it. I think it's a healthy thing. It's great, especially if you have money to spend on students and helping them get where they need to go.
What's the workload look like due days, you know, sort of word reached, you know, like what you'd be looking at for applications, like just from last year, maybe?
Any given year could be, looking at anywhere from 15 to possibly 30 applications.
No, that's nothing. Do they have a set way of grading them?
The criteria, there's
It's all
an
set
objective
and all that.
criteria.
How much money does the have to spend on scholarships?
It's all donated. We raise,
Okay.
it's raised through all five and others.
Okay.
So not actually taxpayer money for this time.
Okay,
1,500 per student. We generally give out 10, 12 scholarships.
oh, that's nice, that's very nice.
Early in August usually is our golf outing, I believe, or late July.
Late July.
Late July.
I found one of the most rewarding things was sitting down and interviewing the scholarship applicants. And, you know, you hear so many bad things sometimes about the kids that age. When you sit down and listen to these scholarship applicants and, you know, test to their goals and what they want to do with their lives and what they have done for the community, it's very uplifting. And it makes you feel like there's hope for this world, right?
But we don't mainly just look at the application, right? Not the
Correct.
person.
We don't do interviews, although I'd never thought of that. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's any limitation to that.
How do you do it? You just do it on paper?
Yeah,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
personal asset.
People apply and then we send out the applications to all members of the committee and you individually grade each applicant and we compile the results.
How many members of the committee?
7.
Yeah, and interviews are great. We've even done them virtually on Zoom.
Sure.
You know, a lot of times kids are so busy, especially in May. with their sports and their banquets and everything that's going on, their graduation. It's hard to get them. Do you have any kind of award ceremony for them?
We announced them at a council meeting where we invite them and their family to come and congratulate them all and take a picture with them. They talk about where they're going and what they're gonna major.
Yeah. It's great. It's just a nice uplifting opportunity. Give money away to kids that are gonna do great things.
Okay, how long have you lived in Britain? Like, that's years.
Since 2006. I've been here since 2003 in McCandless and bought a home on Timberland Drive in 2006. I was single at the time. And then I got married for the first time in 2010. And there you have it. I don't have any children of my own, so I think that I've always enjoyed being with kids, no matter, you know, who they are, what they are, and where they are. I've dealt with all kinds of kids, wealthy kids, poor kids, white kids, purple kids, kids. They just, kids just want to feel that you care about them, no matter who they are.
Reach, I've never done the scholarships, at least with the borough. I used to do them with the professional engineers every year, but. So I think all seven people review all the applicants and score them, and then we take a look at the tally sheets.
Right.
And make the awards based on the consensus of all seven people.
Yeah, that's kind of how they do it. Do they, weight different things like,
Yes, there are weightings
oh,
involved.
that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I find that to be very
And-
helpful.
And we actually just, we did some really good tweaking to the application this past year. After we're done with the process, we get the committee together. And we talk about how it went and what we think we can do to improve things. In this past year, they talked about the fact that kids who go to technical colleges should be awarded as well, because that's
Absolutely.
as important as academic colleges. They've changed things so that we make sure we award to kids who are going to technical colleges as well.
We did that for the last 2 years at Rotary, at our Rotary Club. So I think that's important because that's really the way of the future for some, you know, having, so it makes sense to do that.
There any other questions from council? Lynn, do you have any questions for us?
Just, was interested in the award process and I guess they just come in. Have you thought about doing it in a different way? Having some freshmen for the parents that are there.
Reed would be the one that wanted.
Yeah, for the awards ceremony, it's really,
Simple.
it's just a, council meeting.
That's good.
It is pretty exciting listening to where they're going to
It
school.
is.
This one's going to go to Harvard Medical School or something.
Yeah.
If you read what they've done, it's
Yeah,
terrific. Some of the talented,
it is. It makes you really want to think and be glad. So.
Okay. Yeah, if there are no further questions. What is our next step then?
Thanks for your interest. Thanks for your interest.
Yes, thank you. of
Sure, you're
course.
welcome.
We'll talk at the December work session regarding all the appointments.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Reappointments, and we'll be in touch.
thank you for coming in.
Thanks so much. Great. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
No, we're okay. Thank you. Okay, on to old business, home rule charter. It's no thing for me, Tom. I reached out to them before they must have been celebrating. So, or something, they responded. I'll try again, see if I respond. I don't know.
I also did reach out to Michael Lister, who's with the Jefferson Hills. Spoke to the reception or his administrative assistant. She said, "Oh, yeah, we'd be glad to talk to you about it." So I left him a detailed message and on his voicemail, and I still haven't heard from him. So I was gonna reach out to some of the council people as well.
Yeah,
But You know, I even went back to the meeting minutes and they did approve it their first meeting in July to put it on the ballot. So I kind of looked at what I could find online, but I wasn't able to get the things that I wanted to know, like what drove them to do it. So if I can't get a hold of him, I'm gonna reach out to, I have the email addresses for all the council people and see if one of them may share some of that information.
Yeah, I'll try to some of the council folks, council persons. I know that part of Wilkinsburg, one of the recommendations was to make the mayor a full-time position, so I imagine once that is a fact, we should be hearing back.
Right.
Or more quickly anyways. Okay, so more to come.
Sure.
Okay, board commission reappointments applications update.
Just a quick update, you know, the vacancies, no applicants. Linda was the only applicant for the scholarship committee. We'll now have 2 vacancies on the building board of appeals. A vacancy for an alternate on the civil service commission, a vacancy on the EAC. You have 2 vacancies now on the planning commission.
That's the board.
That does include
Okay.
Laura, yes. We still had, Wayne's
Yeah.
vacancy and then Laura's resignation. There is still a vacancy on the rec board. And the 2 alternates on the zoning hearing board.
Did Laura indicate why she was?
Her husband is now retired. They're gonna be traveling and I think it said spending more time with their granddaughter. So I will put this in your, December packet. And then you can decide on the reappointments. We can discuss it at the work session. All the reappointments and, but there are no other interviews to be scheduled that night, so.
As the deadline.
The deadline was the 15th, but as always, anytime anybody applies, if we have a vacancy, we work it in.
And they are able to be creative when they. Jamie's up and he's.
Jamie, does want to be reappointed, yes.
What did you say about zoning?
Zoning, there's 2 alternate positions.
The board itself.
The board is full, yes, and Justin Papsiak, would like to be reappointed.
Could we, send our list of vacancies to Rep. Bankhead's office and Senator Robinson's office for their digital email that goes out?
Sure.
I don't know if Campbell's has done that,
Yeah, I've seen it.
so,
Yeah.
and I think we tried that also last year.
Last one.
Yeah, we seem to have struggled with the past few years.
Do we have it advertised on our website?
It's been on the website,
I
blast.
saw it, yeah.
A blast has gone, it's the same procedure that we follow every year. Like I said, the only difference that we have now that I'm noticing less applicants is the fact that you want them to do the background check and fill out a statement of financial interest in advance of an interview. We've had applicants over the last year, when I reach back out to them about the 2 extra steps, then I usually either don't get any response or, no, I'm not interested.
Do we have a lot that go through the interview and just that stage and then back out? We'll do it the other way.
When you did it the other way, and I think the reason it changed is we had an instance where we had the interview and then when we did the other process, it stopped at that point. So that's when you had talked and wanted to have everything done in advance of scheduling.
So I don't know if other people backing out. That's right.
No, before we changed the procedure, it was just fill out the application and submit a resume or a letter of interest, and then we would schedule the interview. And then if council wanted to move forward, we did the background and the statement of financial interest.
I mean, I do think it's better that we do it this way. It's just surprising if that's what the input on applications.
Right.
And assuming Max, those are required steps for those positions.
Well, I mean, statement of financial interests, for most parts, anybody who is involved in zoning has to do them. I mean, some of the other ones. Maybe not, but we could just sort of throw a broad net. You know, other types of background checks aren't necessarily, required. we do the child abuse history, anybody who could potentially have.
We don't for boards because, other than the rec board.
Yes, that's one of
The
the ones that
rec
have
board
the,
is the only. one.
and that's what I would have, if we start doing personal interviews, we have to extend it to the scholarship.
Even after virtual.
So I would, yeah, just out of abundance of caution. But yeah, those types of thoughts. And yeah, maybe it is, I mean, that statement of financial interest is not too much of a bear if you already have a position and you kind of know, but when you look at that and it's like gobbledygook.
I receive a
Yeah.
lot of phone calls almost
So,
every
well,
year.
what does this
Year
mean?
after year, when these forms go out.
Yeah.
Do they have to pay the cost of those documents or the borough cover that?
Yeah.
The borough covers it for the volunteer boards. We don't pay anything for the boards that get paid. I can't remember what the fee is. Donna does the background checks. I don't remember if it's $20 or $25 for a background check through the state police.
That's what just zoning and planning.
Yes.
Get the word out.
Yeah,
It is a lot of
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, talk to
definitely.
your
neighbors. and-
Neighbors.
Yeah.
you know, if your neighborhood has an HOA newsletter or something that they could send out.
And the one, I mean, on the building code board of appeals, they are specific professionals that need to be slotted in, so that makes it even more difficult and complicated. I don't know who the two are, the architect, contractor,
To them.
the vacancies, or, you know, I guess two of them.
Actually, there's 5 members, so we have 2 vacancies, so there's 3 left. But they need to be, licensure as an architect or an engineer, experience in the construction industry, and training more experience as an inspector of planning review. So they're very special.
Either of those or one.
I forget if it spells out, says each of the 5 is supposed to have one, or if that is like all encompassing. You know, requirement. 5 architects. Huh?
The planning commission has some feedback that they wanted me to convey. Sam, let me know if I can speak here. They were wondering, you know, they have not been having a problem with big quorum, so maybe instead of looking for 2 more members, that the planning commission be reduced by 2.
We did have 7 originally.
Exactly, yes.
But then we were having an issue with people missing, so that's why we increased it to 9.
Conveying the message.
Right,
I'm not sure how.
that's your call.
Okay. You guys might give it, you all want to give it a 9 or you want to roll back to 7?
I'd say, why don't we take a stab at trying to round up some more? I mean, there was a point.
There-
we did that.
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, but they were having trouble.
They were really hobbled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can all do is, I would suggest to reach out to Rachel or his friends and we can find them, and then if not, talk about it.
Yeah, and one of the positions is a council member, so does anybody have an interest in taking that?
Unfortunately, I need to attend if I join. I'm just curious. I haven't done that, you know, no,
Easy to learn.
Once a month.
Once a
It's,
month, yeah.
it's right behind
On
the voting
Tuesday.
meeting.
I usually for each meeting, how long it takes?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like an hour or 2.
A couple emails.
We're done in
a week.
30 minutes, max. So
Okay,
if anybody's interested, let me know.
I may consider.
Okay.
But not at this moment. Okay, which day? Next week, which day?
Third Tuesday.
Third Tuesday of every month, if we have. agenda
Third
items.
Tuesday. So third Tuesday and then next day is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
But if we don't have agenda, there are no agenda items, there's no meeting.
Hey.
So
that sounds good.
So there was one time we didn't meet for 3 months.
Economy's crashing.
do I need to send the application, you know, like that?
Well, I guess let us know if you're interested.
We'll set up an interview.
Yep. You should be okay though.
Okay, okay, I just want the experience, okay, and so and if I have to do it like yearly, right? And I cannot like stop in the middle, right?
Alright.
Quit in the middle, right?
Resign, but
It's a 4-year
4-year.
term,
Oh, it's 4 years term.
4-year term.
Like the 4 years.
and if you, yeah, you don't have to be on council, it's not like a council specific position. If you're on and leave council or resign or something like that, you can stay on.
If some, okay, I'm not so sure whether I will be able to kind of stay here like for 4 more years. If like I have to move somewhere, I can just quit, right?
Yeah.
And,
And we've had that happen.
okay.
You're
Okay, yeah.
really selling yourself here.
No, it's just because I want everything.
I know, okay.
Better warm up for that interview.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, put my name in. I think that, yeah, I probably would like to do it.
So we have. You would take my spot.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Me too. Okay. All right. I'll try around and figure it out.
I think the HOA things are good.
That's a good idea.
That's what I have. So.
And I think Donna has a list of the HOA contacts as well, so
She knows.
I put that down. So she can send that out.
We could have this meeting fire department, so we can bring it up, see if anyone's interested.
And all the procedure, everything has been updated, all the forms are online, and all the procedures are online on the website.
All right, on new business, let's see, review the agenda for the meeting that's happening.
And it's a long one. We have added a couple of items since the work session, but just for a reminder, we do have the conditional use public hearing. I'm intending to try to combine the two into one, so it'll be a little clunky because I have two sets of exhibits. We have a solar array in a yard and a oversized accessory structure. Did have one objector, a neighbor, with an attorney at planning commission meeting, so they could be here as well. So we'll go through the typical process, asking for objectors and have them participate. They will. Similar to other conditional uses, we can stay on the record and you can make the motions as set forth. Tim's staff report has a couple of conditions that are there. We do have other requirements, particularly for solar, in the ordinance itself. So you can do that. You can deny it if do not meet their burden, or the burden shifts and the objectors prove by preponderance of the evidence that this is not suitable for this location for specific reasons. Or we can table for 45 days and come back in December for the vote on either or both.
We'll leave both motions in there.
I'm gonna keep the record sort of going. Yeah, we'll go, we'll do them separate motions, but a combined. Such luck. Anything else on that from our planning commission representative?
Yeah,
Emeritus?
that's.
Okay. In terms of others, we've pretty much discussed most of these. We'll see starting in motion 13 are items we put on post work session. This one is with respect to the potential purchase or condemnation in lieu of purchase, the other way around, for the McDevitt Road properties there. We have also started the process by which we are doing the title search, and we do have a note ordinance, jumping ahead to number 17, through Scott, working with FNB, our lender. They are doing a note. Because it is local government unit debt, we do need to authorize it by ordinance. Bank has separate bond counsel from Clark Hill that has done the legal ad that put together the ordinance and will handle the opinion at the tax exempt status. But we are, rushing to get this on because we are looking to close before the end of the year. And we still need DCED review and at least approval, and that can take up to 20 days. So we did the ad without introducing the ordinance to get it moving. Got that one there. We talked about Laura's resignation. I think jumping backwards. We talked about the vacant property program authorization at the work session, so that has been added as a resolution. And then finally, the tax ordinance. We did have on here an introduction of that. and have it set up for potential action at December 4th work session, which would be advertised as a voting meeting as part of advertising the availability of the proposed budget and the notice of the tax ordinance.
Do we vote on the budget on the fourth as well, or just the miniature?
I believe it's set up because the Borough Code talks about passing. First, you introduce and have the proposed budget available for at least 10 days. Then in the meeting, once you're acting on it, you vote on the budget first and then vote on the tax ordinance.
And then number 6, for the Terra stuff, this motion covers everything we're concerned about.
To some extent, this is really just the assignment and assumption agreement, but the new owner of the property, because property has closed and has sold, Terra now owns it. They step in the shoes of the prior applicant, who've gone through the process, had received the approvals, but had not done the development agreement and the financial security within the required 6 months. So there's still a question of what exactly the new applicant wants to do. They have provided, some construction cost estimates, but not necessarily told us they're gonna make revisions and they just want the revisions approved, or they want a reapproval motion. So we didn't put anything on this agenda. It might be on the December agenda if they further direction.
Back, sorry, the ordinance 691 2024, the village.
Okay,
That's all happening in one meeting.
What?
The millage, setting the millage and the adoption of the budget. It's the same meeting.
yes.
Okay, that's right, yeah. We're
Yeah,
discussing that.
so-
Yeah, that discussion
We
was
will
six.
we will have to advertise the special meeting for the budget and the ordinance.
And we're looking at 7 PM to have a public meeting, is that correct? On the fourth.
Yes, because you have a personnel committee scheduled at
That's it.
6. Mhm. And then, in the ad, it would just say that the work session will immediately follow.
Okay. Anything else? Yep. Okay, any questions, folks? All right, you went over the copy book. Yep, we get there.
Yes.
Manager report discussion being.
Okay, last fall, we applied for, or I should say, spring, we applied for two GCNR grants. One was for major upgrades to Blueberry Patch. That grant application was turned down. We also applied for an application, to update our Parks and Rec comprehensive plan. That was approved. So it's a $44,800 grant. So we will do an RFP early next year, reach out to various engineering firms and go with a low responsible bidder and make that happen next year. That's an important part. It'll incorporate all the properties we're buying. Seek input from our residents on what they're looking for as far as recreation and come up with a good master plan for all of our properties and what we want to do with them.
That's great.
Awesome. All right, reports from council mayor. Want to go?
I think I have anything tonight.
No, nothing in addition to, we talked about the home rule and contacting. The one thing I've been working on, I'll continue to follow with that. Thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. Dr. Blake?
Good.
Gail?
Good, I'm good.
Laura? Right.
Just following up on the Facebook page rename.
Reached out to Donna. She was tied up last week with the Veterans Breakfast. She'll look into it. She believes that we can't make a name change, but she's gonna find out.
So-
We may have to create a new Facebook page and transfer everything over to it, but
Before.
Yeah, you
our
guys are.
piece.
well, then we would shut down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I guess we can go into executive session.
Yes.
Anything else?